Hey guys, what is up? Aoki here, and today I am pretty damn excited because as of the quick gameplay thoughts on 7/27, which is today, it looks like Riot is looking to give some pretty tasty buffs to certain tanks, including our girl, Leona. So I'm going to be leaving a link to the whole post if you'd like to read through it down in the description. It's a really interesting read that gives some insight into tanks in general, their place in the game, etc. But the gist is that they are looking at the numbers, and it looks like they're going to be toning back some anti-tank damage, such as penetration and true damage sources, which I definitely agree with them doing that. They're also going to be flat out buffing some tanks in 8.16. What's also interesting is that they're going to be working on some kit satisfaction, is what they call it, right there. In terms of how it feels rather than power for tanks. So not necessarily raw numbers and how efficient it is in terms of win rate and, like blowing people up, but how it actually feels. Does it feel satisfying? Does it feel good to play as? This part especially excites me because, oh my god, Leona has such an outdated kit. It honestly feels like it was designed way before all of these new modern champions came out with, 3-hit passives and mobility, and she just feels like she's so limited by her kit. And I would be so excited if she got some tweaks to the way her kit feels. She could really use some modernization. So the post goes on to include some of the tanks that they'll be testing and the buffs for 8.16, which includes Nautilus, Amumu, Sion, Leona, Ramus, and Jungle Maokai. So a reason that I found this post important enough to make a video over is because in patch 8.15, we're about to see tanks absolutely gutted in the bot lane support position. So let me explain. On the PvE, there is currently a nerf making the support items 50 gold more expensive, meaning that you get one less potion to bring into lane with you. So that means even more bullying in lane in the early levels before, Leona hits her level 2 spike, before Alistar gets his WQ, before the tanks really have what they need to do tank engage things in lane. So really, there's just going to be less of a reason to pick them over safe picks such as Lulu, Janna, Soraka, Nami. They can just stay back, no real risk involved, have a ton of sustain in their kits. So now, if you've been watching my stream, this impending change has seriously been stressing me out because I absolutely hate those types of metas. I think that the worst defender, of course, being the godforsaken Ardent meta that we had to slog through for multiple months. Riot has been expressly outspoken about how much they don't want to go back to that. Yet this seems to be a very huge step towards bringing us right back in that spot that we, are out of now. I don't really understand that change. There doesn't seem to be a real solid explanation as to why it's happening. I just hate that change that is coming. So this was like a beacon of good news for me. I don't think that we should be emphasizing low interactivity, boring ass sustain oriented lanes. It just feels awful to a player like me who enjoys playmaking, actively participating in the lane, getting in there and fucking shit up. So this is amazing to me. So anyways, back on topic. In the comment section of that thread, a user by the name of Solari Fortune, love the name, by the way, dude. States that Leona, while I am excited to see, I'm also concerned due to her tendency to shift between meh and what the fuck in terms of how strong she is. So any idea of what these two buffs would look like? So basically, Solari Fortune is concerned because historically Leona is either absolutely broken or pretty underwhelming, which I agree with. She can be very difficult to balance due to what I call a binary kit. Riot Midler then responds that Leona would be potentially getting buffs to her mid to late game, and that they're cautious about making her more lethal in lane. So this to me actually said that they're pretty serious about doing tweaks to her kit, because Medler says they're looking to buff her mid and late game, not her early game. And raw number changes such as lowering the cooldown on her Q wouldn't necessarily bring about a relevant change in strength to her mid or late game. It's not necessarily her numbers and cooldowns that hinder her mid and late game, it's her one note kit. So this to me seems like they're pretty serious about making changes, even if they're just quality of life changes to her kit. So I will be very closely watching these changes, and be sure to subscribe to this channel for any updates about the changes. I am so hoping they go through and that we get a juicy buff to Leona in patch 8.16. Let me know what you guys think about these changes down in the comments. Thank you for watching, and peace.